The NCAA and USA South Athletic Conference promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, or sexist comments or intimidating actions directed at coaches, players, officials, or any other team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. Also, the consumption or possession of alcoholic beverages and tobacco use is strictly prohibited. Please stay away from the playing area and team bench area. Thank you for your cooperation, and go Knights! Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to take the time to honor our three seniors who have been a part of the women's soccer program over the years. First up is Madison Solis, escorted by her parents, Casey Ray, and her husband, Jacob. Madison is a 3-year team member and has appeared in 54 games throughout her career while recording 1 goal and 1 assist. Madison will graduate with a degree in design and plans to move to Utah following graduation to work as a graphic designer. Let's give it up for Madison. Next up is Emily Huber, escorted by her mother, Summer, and her boyfriend, Jaden. Emily joined the team in 2021 and has since played in 42 games, proving to be a catalyst of the back line, playing a crucial role in her team's dominant defensive effort over the years. Her demonstrated play warranted her a selection to the 2022 USA South All-Conference Second Team. Annalise will graduate with a degree in psychology, and following graduation, she plans on pursuing a career as a special education teacher while getting married. Let's give it up for Annalise! Last up is McKenna Winterson, escorted by her parents Tammy and Scott and her sisters Alyssa, Jenna, and Madeline. Since joining the team in 2019, McKenna has amassed 66 points in 65 games, ranking 5th all-time in goals scored with 29, and is a 2-time all-conference member. McKenna will graduate with a degree in biology, and following her graduation, her goal is to play soccer professionally. Let's give it up for McKenna! Let's give one more round of applause for our seniors. Thank you, seniors, and good luck after graduation. In accordance with tradition at Southern Virginia University, we will begin with a word of prayer, which will be offered by Lauren Fowler, a midfielder and sophomore from Saratoga Springs, Utah.
Every time that we become His Father, we're so grateful to be this day. We're grateful to pray for that we love, and we're grateful for our wonderful teachers. And we pray that we will have more peace tonight, that we will be safe, and that we will be able to have good weather. Heavenly Father, we love you. We're grateful for your Son, Jesus Christ, and we're grateful for this wonderful university and this wonderful sport we get to play. And we pray these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you. And now for your starting lineup. Starting tonight for the Pacers. At forward, number 2, Kayla Johnson. At midfield, number 5, Dana Kenworthy. At midfield, number 10, Emma Avery. At forward, number 12, Lindsay Knox. At midfield, number 13, Liz Canales. At forward, number 14, Shaylin Webb. At midfield, number 19, Courtney Arnold. At midfield, number 24, Mia Rumatic. At forward, number 25, Savannah Birchmiller. At defense, number 28, Jerry Hampton. And in goal, number 31, Gabby Vasquez. The Pacers are coached by Becky Schroeder and assisted by Jacob Smith. And now, starting for your night. At defense, number 4, Haley Gadd. At defense, number 5, Paige Barbarino. At midfield, number 6, Claire Stevens. At forward, number 7, Mattia Murray. At defense, number 9, Ella Thomas. At midfield, number 17, Mabel Harris. At midfield, number 19, McKenna Winterton. At midfield, number 25, Ellie Owens. At defense, number 28, Annalise Schubert. At midfield, number 33, Natalie Blazer. And in goal for the night, number 00, Katrina Gardner. The Knights are coached by Ron Dahl, assisted by Eric Dahl, Shelby Pulliam, and Jacob Solid. Now, if you will all please rise and face the flag for our nation's national anthem, which will be performed by head coach Ron Dahl. Oh, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare from our bursting air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you, and Joe Knight.
Welcome to Southern Virginia University Knight Stadium for USA South Conference women's soccer action. Tonight we have Southern Virginia University Knights league leaders at 7-0 facing off against number 4 William Peace that comes into this match 3-1-2. My name is Colby Kemp. I'm joined here in the booth with Nick O'Connor. And Nick, as we approach postseason play, even though the Knights are 7-0, they do have 2 difficult games remaining against these Pacers and then again next week against Meredith.
Yes, Colby, they've got a couple tough matchups ahead of them, but nothing they haven't handled thus far. They're undefeated in conference play for a reason. I actually had an opportunity to speak with Coach Dahl about this prior to the game, and he was talking about the confidence he had in these ladies, their strong defense, the capability that these ladies have to press the attack. He has all of the confidence in his Knights squad.
Yes, he does. The defense has been great all season long. That's led by senior Annalise Huber and also sophomore Haley Gadd on the back line in front of Katrina Gardner, who will work in the goal tonight. And speaking of seniors, it is senior night here as play gets underway. As the action continues, we will highlight the 3 seniors on this Southern Virginia University women's soccer team. 3 seniors that have seen a lot of success in their time here with the Knights.
Yes, and we'll keep our eyes out for them. So throughout the game, our 3 seniors are Madison Solis, Annalise Huber, and McKenna Winterton.
And we have play underway here with the Knights controlling the ball deep in the end of the Pacers. Pacers knock it away and push the Knights a little back, but that'll give some space as that is number 11, Madison Solis, one of our seniors that earns that throw in for the Knights.
Now, to give a bit of brief history on the matchup between these 2 teams, the Southern Virginia University Knights and William Peace University Pacers, they have played 4 games against each other in recent years. The Knights taking 3 of those, but the Pacers taking last year's game.
And that corner comes in, finds its way to Claire Stevens was taking that corner. And that ball was headed toward the goal. I believe that was Annalise Huber.
So, as I was saying, Colby, the Pacers taking last year's game, a score of 1-0 against the Knights. This was actually something Coach Dahl spoke to me on prior to the game. He was saying that this particular week in practice, he's had these Lady Knights working a lot on their spacing, a lot on getting back to play defense after they have pressed the attack, because that's part of how they lost the game last year. There was a strong counterattack from the Pacers, which led to a free kick and ultimately a goal.
And that has been one of the struggles with the USA South opponents here for the Knights, is being able to keep up with that Knight offense. So it'll be interesting to see tonight if the Pacers are able to keep up and apply a little bit more pressure to this defensive back than what the typical USA South opponent has been able to apply thus far in the season. And a long free kick taken there by the Pacers. It's defended well by the Knights. And now the Knights will have an opportunity with a free kick of their own. That's Haley Gadd sending that toward midfield. Back to Gadd. She'll send over to Annalise Huber, who advanced looking for some space. And we have a stop in the action here.
And being that Annalise Huber last contacted the ball, brief note on her. So Annalise joined the team back in 2021 and has played in 42 games, proving to be a catalyst of the back line, playing a crucial role in the team's dominant defensive effort over the years. Her demonstrated play warranted her a selection to the 2022 USA South All-Conference second team. And speaking to Coach Dahl, he expects more of the same this year.
Yeah, she's been a stalwart on that back line all year long alongside Haley Gadd. So a great career here for Annalise Huber. A couple weeks ago, she orchestrated one of the funnest plays, most fun plays of the year down at Mary Baldwin. There were 14 seconds left on the first half clock, and she took a free kick from around midfield that ultimately led to a Knight goal with just 1 second left on the clock in that first half that pretty much deflated the Mary Baldwin women's soccer team. So, Annalise, congratulations on a great career here at Southern Virginia University, and a career that she hopes will last well into next month, Nick.
Absolutely. That being said, she wasn't here just for soccer. She is going to be receiving her degree in psychology. And following she plans to pursue a career in special education.
Peace is able to push the ball a little bit downfield, but Claire Stevens runs that down. Sends it over to Katrina Gardner in goal. Peace now in the middle of the field. That's number 24. Mia Rumacek. Knights now move forward. Mattia Murray, she pushes that to McKenna. McKenna's looking to see if she has somebody making a run in the box. Drops that back to Claire. She's got some space. It's quickly closed by William Peace, and she'll drop that back to Paige. Her pass gets deflected, but now Mattia trying to get it on the ground in front of the goal. And referee is going to call that a throw-in for the Knights. Quickly taken by Claire Stevens. Into Natalie Blazer. Natalie's come on in the last couple games into the starting lineup and played very well. Ball ends up out of bounds, so the Pacers with the throw-in.
The Pacers providing some good defense against the Knight attack thus far, causing a bit too much traffic for the Knights to get too much going, but we'll see if there's a difference on this free kick.
Free kick here from the near side, about 30 yards out, will be taken by Claire Stevens. She'll be trying to find a teammate making a run in the box. Well struck toward the back of the goal, and that's McKenna Winterton that gets on the other end of that pass, and ball sails just up and over the crossbar, so that'll be a goal kick. You know, speaking of that Pacer attack, Nick, they have three players that have some pretty prolific offensive numbers. They're led by Emma Avery. She's their leading scorer. She has 12 goals on the season and 4 assists. Their second leading scorer is Kayla Johnson with 7 goals and 3 assists. And then who might be considered the playmaker of this Pacer offense is Dana Kenworthy, who comes into the match with 5 goals and 6 assists. So, you know, the Knights haven't seen a lot of that type of production in their conference matchups. So I expect Annalise Huber and Haley Gadd to be on their toes there on that back line.
Yes, these Pacers have a offensive front line that knows how to work together. Clearly, with the assist totals that the different ladies have been racking up, they know how to work together.
A late foul there called. Mattia Murray ended up on the ground. So another free kick, almost the identical spot from the one just taken a minute ago by Claire Stevens. One that found McKenna Winterton making a run on the far side. This one comes to the near side. And a header there by Mattia Murray finds its way into the hands of Gabby Vasquez, goalkeeper of this Pacer squad.
A little bit of an awkward bounce coming in on that shot attempt to make it a little bit more difficult for Vasquez.
That ball gets behind the Pacer defense. Natalie Blazer's on it. She kicks. That's off the crossbar. Up and over. Another good look there by the Knights early on. A ball misplayed by the Pacer defender. Natalie was there to quickly push forward and from about 12 yards out, hit that top crossbar. So the best chance so far of this match comes just about 8 minutes in.
And plenty of power on that boot too. Just shy of the top of that goal there.
Annalise with a good ball forward to McKenna. And she has one defender between her and the goal, and that defender is able to shield her and the ball. As the ball quickly finds its way into the hands of Gabby Vasquez once again.
Vasquez using every inch of that box to get her kick out.
I believe it was Madison Solis that had that good touch forward to McKenna. Ball comes into Natalie Blazer. She's battling on the far side. And looking for Mabel Harris. That ball will go out of bounds and result in a throw-in for the Pacers. Knights playing keep away on the far side.
And thus far, most of the play happening on the Pacer end of the field.
Yeah, as has been the case for much of this season, especially in the conference play, the Knights tend to dominate the ball offensively and spend a lot of time in the defensive end of the field. Claire Stevens with a cross, and that gets turned back by Pacers defender Emma Avery, or excuse me, that was Dana Kenworthy.
Well, and perhaps not as flashy of a position, but the midfielders for this Knight squad do such a tremendous job of controlling the ball out in space, doing a tremendous job of feeding those strikers time and time again so that the ball does stay over on the opponent end of the field.
Yeah, a lot of playmakers out there for the Knights. You know, anybody from Annalise Huber, it's not uncommon for her to take that ball away from her defensive position up across midfield, send the ball forward. Also, Tia Murray, Madison Solis in this group. A number of players. McKenna, she doesn't have any problem taking her turn at the midfield and trying to find something, make something happen for her teammates up ahead.
Yes, Coach Dahl has expressed that McKenna Winterton is the heart and soul of this team. I mean, anytime that they have an opportunity to get her a shot on goal, they want her to be able to take that. They have every confidence in her ability to make plays for this team.
Absolutely. Also, he's very appreciative of the leadership that she's provided, especially over the last couple years as we have seen this Knights women's soccer program really take a couple steps forward here and become a leader in the USA South Conference. Got a hard foul out about near midfield, so free kick taken by Annalise Huber. Pacers are able to push that forward. It's Kayla Johnson. Ball moved forward, and Annalise able to track that down. She'll send it back to Katrina Gardner. Pacers able to get under that and maintain possession.
No, I think it's especially important to mention of McKenna Winterton. As Coach Dahl spoke to me about her, he mentioned not only just the leadership on the field, but an emotional leadership that she had, and in the way that she interacted with the other ladies of this squad. I think the pace that she sets and the confidence that she comes into each game with affects each and every player on her side of the field.
Absolutely. The players look to her for that leadership. She's been here, you know, played 4 years here now, and her success doesn't seem to get into her head. She's always welcoming the new players around her There's several freshmen on this team that have expressed how excited they were to be able to come and play with a player the caliber of McKenna Winterton. And the difficult thing that most people don't understand is she's the focus point of every team's defensive plan. When any team starts preparing to play Southern Virginia on the pitch, they start with McKenna Winterton, and they're told time and time again, you cannot lose sight of her. And so, she uses that to her advantage and to pick up her teammates around her. As Mattia Murray, she gets in a little bit of space, attempts a long shot from about 25 yards out. That would go off the side of her foot and over the end line, so we will have a goal kick now. And Gabby Vasquez will do the honors for William Peace.
Coach Dahl certainly happy that he does not have to game plan against McKenna.
Absolutely. It's always nice to have a player like that on your bench, knowing everybody else is thinking about her for the full 90 minutes. A good pass into the box there by Claire Stevens. Just a little heavy, though. Just beyond the reach of McKenna, but a good look nonetheless. The Knights offense seems to be building a little bit here after that attempt by Natalie Blazer a few minutes ago. They continue to apply the pressure to this Pacers defense. It'll be a throw-in, quickly taken by Claire Stevens. And William Peace turns that right back out of bounds. Claire Stevens will do it again. Trying to work a little two-man game there with Mattia Murray. Paige Varvarigos with a long cross. Mabel Harris can't find it. And now there's a cross into the box, looking for McKenna. And another good defensive play there by William Peace. That was Ella Thomas over there that made that cross, looking for McKenna Winterton. And now William Peace with their first attempt to build a little bit of an attack, but that pass will go too far and out of bounds, so that'll be a throw-in for Southern Virginia. That's really the first possession that had a little bit of promise to it there, Nick, for William Peace.
Well, and there was a good lead attempt intended for Shaylin Webb, just too much on it, and Webb didn't quite have the speed behind her to get there.
Natalie with a good move to get past the Peace defender. She's got McKenna making a run here on the near side. She drops it to her. McKenna finds it back to Natalie, and she goes with the first touch just a little heavy as the defender was approaching, and Gabby Vasquez will pick that one up off the ground and end that attempt. But again, there we see McKenna Winterton being willing to involve the rest of her teammates on offense. She could have tried to take that to the goal and come away with a shot of her own, but she had Natalie there streaking toward the goal, returned the favor, and it was just a little bit of the defense there by William Peace that was able to poke that away.
Oh, just a beautiful display of chemistry and ball work between both Blazer and Winterton. Ended up giving Blazer just a tremendous opportunity. It seemed, though, that it just slipped away from her at the last moment as we saw her take a tumble there.
Good ball forward there. Played by Annalise Huber. Didn't appear to have much going on, but Annalise saw something that nobody else did. William Peace was fortunate to get back on that ball and send it away. Ella Thomas working there on the far side. That's Mabel Harris, actually, into the middle with Madison Salas. She'll touch back to Huber. She attempts to find McKenna there in the middle, but William Peace is able to send it back, and Haley Gadd will pick that up. The Knights will reset. A quick touch there by Mabel looking for Ella Thomas, but just a little bit beyond. So that'll be a throw in here for William Peace. Then Nick, we're about 18 minutes into this match, and so far, we mentioned it once already, most of the match being played on this half of the field.
Yes, the Knight defensive back line has not been too pressured. Neither has the Knight keeper. I imagine that we'll see that change a bit as the evening progresses. These Pacers won't be content with the number of shots they've been able to get off thus far.
Touch to the outside by Mattia Murray, looking for Claire Stevens, just goes over the line, so it'll be a throw in here for William Peace. Mattia gets to that ball first, sends it to McKenna. She sends that over to space on the far side that's ran down by William Peace. Ball's volleyed around on the far side and ultimately heads out of bounds, and that's going to be a throw in for the Knights. Mabel Harris, actually a free kick is what we're going to have. Annalise quickly takes that, sends it over to Haley Gadd. She looks for Natalie Blazer in the area, but William Peace sends it back toward Annalise Huber. She's on the attack now. Paige Varvarigos. Good through ball by Claire Stevens. McKenna's on it. She's 1v1. And the flag goes up. So McKenna just a little offside there. The timing looked very good between her and Claire. But the referee says McKenna needed to wait just another split second before she broke loose to go take that ball toward the goal. But again, Nick, we're seeing opportunities come time and time again here by the Knights offense.
Oh, absolutely. They're pressing the attack. We can feel the energy building, the intent building, those shot opportunities coming often. It would seem that it's only a matter of time before the Knights find themselves on the board. And they will take an opportunity to reset.
Annalise makes a little bit of a run, trying to open things up on the far side, and her pass ends up rolling out of bounds. So William Peace, they're going to try and get something rolling here on the Knights side of the field. McKenna's able to steal that ball away and send forward. Nobody was making a run at that moment, so Vasquez will pick that up for the Pacers and attempt to get something started once again, heading the other way for William Peace. Good play by Huber coming up to steal the ball away and earning a throw in for the Knights.
Now, I'm just going to say it, Colby. I have never seen a keeper, at least in the conference play that thus far, use as much of the space in the box as Vasquez is using. She's getting right up to the very edge. Her toes almost scraping that end line there.
Yeah, probably an attempt to try and keep, from having too much space between her and the Knights offense, whether it be McKenna or Natalie. Wants to be able to get to a ball, one of those, those through balls that are coming through before they find the foot of one of the Knight forwards. Be interesting to see if she adjusts that as the game goes on tonight. I think Coach Schroger for the Pacers is probably hoping that her defense settles in a little bit here and allows her team to be a little more aggressive on the offensive end here and eliminate possession time for the Knights. Because as it stands right now, the Knights seem to be controlling this probably around 70-30 on the possession. And I think William Peace would like to even that up a little bit.
Well, of course they would. I imagine they'd like to just be able to take a little bit more time on the offensive side of things. Get a couple of shots off on goal. because right now the Knight squad is constantly threatening goal.
Good ball from McKenna to Natalie. Natalie tries to cross back to McKenna, but two Pacer defenders get in the way there and are able to knock that ball down. The Knights will send that all the way back to their goalie, Gardner. And now Haley Gadd will bring forward to midfield. Mattia Murray lofts one over the top of the defense, and it's a foot race between Vasquez and Blazer. McKenna brings it down. Vasquez has to hurry back to get on her line, as she'd come again, Nick, like you said, well out, 25 yards out from her goal line to defend that pass from Mattia Murray, looking for Blazer. Now Mattia has the ball in the area. She'll slide that back. A long shot taken there by Paige Varvarigos. Will sail a little wide to the left. And so Vasquez will have a goal kick. Never hurts to throw one of those at the goal, Nick, just to see what happens. Every now and then it might bounce off the goalie and provide a rebound opportunity for one of the forwards.
Well, and especially if your team is able to maintain possession at the rate that the Knights have been able to so far in this game, you absolutely take a shot on goal if you can trust the ladies behind you to get the ball right back.
Also should serve to keep Vasquez a little honest back there on that back line. As we mentioned, she's been coming forward. If she continues to do that, the Knights might catch her a little too far out with one of those. And the cross by Claire Stevens got through three Pacer defenders, and McKenna was a little bit shocked. I think that ball got through, as you know, it seemed as one of those three defenders should be able to get a foot on it and send that ball out.
So specifically on those kicks from the keeper, Colby, I'd like you in the future when you're seeing her drop kick the ball here, look at the placement of her feet as compared to the box line there. Because on that particular kick, she actually came out a little bit before getting her foot on the ball.
We'll have to keep an eye on that. Be unfortunate for the goalie to be called for a hands infraction.
I think she probably could have on that last kick there.
Knights play a little two-man game on the far side. Mabel Harris and Natalie Blazer ends up with a throw-in, and there's a attempt on a long cross by Ella Thomas. Pacers are again able to get in the way. And now Paige Varvarigos looking for McKenna once again, but puts that a little too far out in front, and that'll go all the way to Vasquez. See how she goes on this kick. Gets right to the line.
Something that I will note, Colby, is that this Pacer back line has done an excellent job thus far of trapping the Knight offensive personnel, getting plenty of offside calls on them. In fact, if that pass from the Knights would have connected to Mattia Murray on the last play, naturally she would have been called offside, just based off of the way that these Pacers have been playing.
It's always one way. They can play a little bit of defense, have that back line step up and cause the offsides call. There were a number of substitutions there at that stoppage in play for the Knights. Jane Peterson, number 14, she's come onto the field, as has Tessa Miller, number 21. Also coming onto the field, number 20, Gracie Duncan. I believe there was one more, so we'll try and track that one down as well. Actually, it's going to be number 25 also coming onto the field. That's Ellie Owen, making her first appearance of the game. So the Knights have earned a corner here. Claire Stevens will do the honor. A good cross there. McKenna comes up, and the defender's able to get a body on her just as she was trying to make contact with the ball. And that ball goes untouched out of bounds and over the end line on the far side, so it'll be a goal kick for Gabby Vasquez.
And as we reset here, a quick note on senior McKenna Winterton. She joined the team back in 2019 and has since amassed 66 points in 65 games. She ranks 5th all-time in goals scored with 29. And is a 2-time all-conference member. McKenna will graduate with a degree in biology, and following her graduation, her goal is to play soccer professionally.
I spoke to her dad a few days ago, and he mentioned that her goal is to find a way to play professionally. She's been going out each summer to Salt Lake City, Utah, and playing some pickup ball with members of the professional women's team out there in Salt Lake. And so she's excited to see what she can do and chase her dream of playing this game for a living at some point.
Well, and that's the dream, isn't it, Colby? I mean, if you're out here playing collegiate soccer, to be able to make that continue, do this that you love, carry on and get paid for it, what else could you want?
Always a fun opportunity. I think every kid that starts out, whether it be soccer or basketball, football, baseball, softball, whatever it may be, always dreams of having that moment. And being out here on the college field, there's just a small percentage that actually make it to this point and a much smaller percentage that make it into the professional ranks. But again, a great career here for McKenna Winterton, and best of luck to her as she continues and pursues her dream of playing professionally.
Absolutely. And if you've got it, you've got it.
Annalise Huber. That's something that, I think, Annalise, they take for granted a little bit out there on the field. Annalise's ability to really control that ball and come so far from her defensive position back there near the goal line and carry the ball forward across midfield and be a playmaker from that back spot.
Oh, absolutely. She has been excellent for this team. Really given them opportunity to build around what she does with her playmaking ability, the skill in passing, the defensive ability, just a tremendous play out of her.
Absolutely. Good communication by the Knights. When she does make one of those runs, Ella Thomas playing over there on that far midfield, she knows she's got to fall back a little bit and take that place that Annalise is left vacated. And just fun to watch how this Knights team plays so well together, communicates, and backs one another up.
Vasquez once again going back for another goal kick. We've seen her there quite a few times this game.
McKenna with a good through ball to Tessa Miller. Miller's on and with a shot at the goal. And Vasquez with a diving save. Miller found herself about 11 yards out with an angle toward the far corner, and she took the shot. But Vasquez was able to anticipate just enough to get her arms onto that ball and haul it in. So again, another dangerous opportunity turned away by the Pacer goalie.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, Tessa Miller managed to score a goal just last game as well.
Yes, she did. She's been on a bit of a roll as well, as many of these Knight players have been. They've played very strong soccer over the last 3 weeks. Claire Stevens will take this throw in. Gracie Duncan gets fouled from behind, so that will be a free kick. Claire Stevens is going to roll that ball up to just over 40 yards out from the goal, but she's got more than enough leg power to get this ball into a dangerous area in front of the goal. She sends that into the area, and William Peace as the first player able to get their head on the ball, and they bring that to the ground. Ball played well forward, though, and Claire Stevens is going to be able to catch up to that. Send it into Katrina Gardner. She'll send that back to Claire. The Knights pull back, looking to create a little bit of space that they can build their next attack.
Well, now, as you were mentioning, the Knight squad loves to give Claire Stevens the opportunity to take those free kicks because of the power that she has. It is one thing to have power, but another to be able to have such control over that power.
Yeah, Claire has been very effective this year on the free kicks, mid-range free kicks, and also the corner kicks. You know, her service has been very consistent, with giving the Knights the opportunity. And there you have Ellie Owen carrying the ball well forward. Sends that to the near side, and William Peace is there to slow down Tessa Miller just enough. And we'll now have a free kick as they called Tessa Miller for a foul there as she approached the ball. William Peace will send that to midfield. That's brought down by Jane Peterson, who is then fouled by William Peace.
Quite a tumble there at midfield.
That's number 28, Jerry Hansen.
We've got almost 10.5 minutes left here in this half.
Haley Gadd takes that free kick. Sends a one hopper into McKenna Winterton. She turns and takes a shot at the goal, and it's blocked by the William Peace defenders. Ellie Owen, good touch forward to Mabel Harris. William Peace gets there and sends that out of bounds for a throw in for the Knights. That'll bring us to a stoppage in play as the Knights bring on 3 more substitutes. Looks like Maddie Staples coming onto the field for her first stint of the night. Also number 27, that's Bailey Ayland. She'll take the position there in the center of the defense alongside Annalise Huber and Maddie Staples. There was one more player that came on. We'll figure out who that was momentarily.
Now, Colby, speculate with me here for a moment.
That ball gets away from William Pace. Tessa Miller. Just a second there, it looked very promising for the Knights and Tessa Miller, but first touch just a little too far forward, allowed the 2 Peace defenders to get there and keep Tessa Miller away from the ball. That'll be a goal kick. Nick, you were saying?
Yes. Well, my need for speculation was almost just taken away. But what I was going to say was we've got a 0-0 score coming into the 8-minute mark here. Lots of opportunities coming forward. If you had to make a guess, Colby, is there going to be a goal in this half? And where do you expect to see it from?
You know, soccer is such a tough game to predict. You know, the Knights have been building toward these opportunities the entire half. William Peace, they've played good enough defense to not have allowed a goal to this point. You know, we have just under 8 minutes left in this half. Knights are playing well on offense. If you're going to make me say something, I'm going to predict that we're going to go into the half with a 0-0 tie, and then the Knights will come back in the second half really forcing the issue to put a goal into the back of the net. There's a corner kick there, comes across, and the attempt by Jane Peterson will sell wide to the right. The final substitute that came onto the field in that last stoppage of play was Bailey Ricker, the freshman. She's had some good moments as well this year, playing alongside McKenna Winterton. I think a lot of the freshmen can say McKenna has helped them look very good this freshman season of theirs.
Oh, absolutely. Now, Colby, if I had to make a guess here, because I love to speculate. What I've been watching is there's been a ton of attention towards McKenna Winterton, towards the center of the field, leaving Tessa Miller an increasing number of opportunities. And so I think if we are going to see something this half, it's coming from Tessa Miller.
It's not a bad assessment there, Nick. I would agree. There's been many times this year where, as Coach Dahl begins to substitute, McKenna finds herself there in the forward position where she's at right now. And as I've said before, she is not afraid to include her teammates. And several times she has set the ball up perfectly for Tessa Miller, Mattia Murray, Mabel Harris, Audrey McKeon. We haven't seen Audrey yet this first half, but McKenna has done very well. So I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case, that McKenna leaves the ball for a teammate to shoot into the back of the net, as McKenna must not like us saying that she's going to find an assist here in this first half, and wants to find a goal instead, and she takes a shot from 10 yards out. It was very dangerous, and Gabby Vasquez was able to get just enough hand on that ball to send it over the crossbar, and it'll be a corner kick for the Knights. So with just under 5.5 minutes, Claire Stevens will send one toward the goal area. Finds its way to Maddie Staples, and that will ricochet off of the William Peace defenders and go for another Knight corner kick.
And obviously, while all the speculation can go out the window immediately, of course anything can happen. And just in case McKenna can somehow sense what I'm saying, the speculation that she might be getting an assist instead of a goal this half is by no means a slight.
Oh, absolutely not. We're saying nothing but good things about her. But she had a very good opportunity there and put the ball right on goal. That last corner kick, good service again by Claire Stevens, and Ellie Owen had come up, made a good run to the far post, and almost scored a goal herself right there. So, ever since you put the pressure on Nick, it seems like the Knights have upped their offensive pressure just a little bit too. I was kind of playing the odds of, there's less than 8 minutes left. Even though it's been building, are they going to get one in the last 8 minutes? But we'll see.
Well, I'm sure any of these players out here would be happy to prove either of us wrong.
Absolutely. Huber with a great ball there. Bailey Ricker making a run. She's going to find her way to the end of that. Take a long shot. Ricochets off the goal, and there it is. We have a goal. That's number 27. No, number 17, Mabel Harris cleans that up for the Knights.
Well,
I was wrong twice. That was number 13. I hadn't noticed. Come on the field. Amy Giles making that run to clean that up off of Vasquez's hands.
And it certainly was a wonderful opportunity. You always have to continue moving forward. Those things do happen. Goalkeeping is not an easy task.
Not an easy task. Bailey Ricker makes solid connection there, sending the ball hard toward the goal. It'll be very difficult for Vasquez to handle, and Emmy Giles was there. Sending the ball back to the net. So often, you watch a basketball game, broadcasters will give stats on free throw shooting and whatnot, and whenever they say somebody's not a good free throw shooter, they inevitably knock both free throws down. So I guess this is the broadcaster's curse in reverse for Knight Nation. Put the screws to me and make me make a prediction, and Knight Nation's not going to complain that I was wrong.
No, they certainly are not, and I believe that's Emmy Giles' third goal of the year. So I'm sure she's happy to find some net there.
Sure, Coach Dahl was happy to see that one find its way to the back of the net. We talked about this briefly before the beginning of the game, Nick, but a win or tie by the Knights tonight solidifies their position as the #1 seed heading into the conference tournament. So right now they have a 1-0 lead as they seek to secure that #1 seed here by the end of this game.
Listen, and part of the reason that they're able to secure with the win here, and obviously, is their undefeated conference play thus far. But also the second place seed right now happens to be Methodist, who the Knights have beaten earlier on this season.
Knights in another good offensive situation here. Ellie Owen does a 360 and sends it toward the goal again off the hands of Vasquez. Tessa Miller follows it up. A tough angle. And we have a penalty as Tessa Miller tried to get around that ball and send it toward the goal. The William Peace defender slid in to try and get that ball, and the referee has called a penalty. That's on number 13 for William Peace, Liv Canales. And so the ball is on the spot. I believe this is Ella Thomas that's going to take the penalty. And goal, Knights! Ella Thomas with the second goal in the last 3 minutes for the Knights. And they will take a 2-0 lead with them into halftime, barring anything happening in the last minute 7 of this first half.
And my goodness, penalty kicks, always so exciting to watch. You feel the pressure building. As you watch, you get to watch the tension build and the goalie ready to spring. You watch the player, their mind racing, trying to figure out how exactly they want to touch this ball. My goodness, we love to see it.
It's one of those calls. It's a tough call. William Peace did not agree with that call on the field by the referee. A little bit of protest by Coach Scroger to the referee, but nevertheless, the goal will stand, penalty stands. The Knights here will work their way. That pass taken away by William Peace. Number 14, Shaylin Webb. Quickly taken away again by the Knights defense.
And Colby, certainly of all of the players out there on the field, Vasquez back at keeper, completely unsatisfied with the penalty call being made. She's been challenged time and time again and has been putting up an excellent game with the amount of shots taken against her. And obviously the penalty situation is not an ideal one when you are the keeper.
Definitely not. She has, the score might be 2-0, but she's had a tough first half. She's played well. She's had the unfortunate task of having to face many shots taken by the Knight offense. And we will now see the first half expire after a goal by Emmy Giles, and a second goal on the penalty by Ella Thomas. The Knights have a 2-0 lead as we head into the half. Before we head into the half, we want to take a moment to thank our sponsors.
The Knights Athletic Department would like to thank the following sponsors for their continued support of Knights Athletics: Cornerstone Bank, Mill Creek Orthodontics, River Crossing Apartments, Straws, Drinks and Eats. Tonight they are holding a music activity, should be going on until about 10 o'clock. Believe the band is Fought Gut. Yes. Moving on, Grace Automotive, where SVU students and staff can receive 10% off their vehicle maintenance needs. Papa John's Pizza, locally owned and operated. Vinyl Cuts, The Bee, Sweet Souvenirs, Katana Sushi, and Hibachi Express. If you would like to partner with Knights Athletics to promote your business to the Knight Nation, please contact Brett Schroeder at 801-633-1894.
Thank you, Nick. And with that, we will head to a break for halftime. Hope to see everybody back in about 15 minutes for another exciting half of women's soccer here at Knight Stadium.
Let's give it up for our two participants today. So these are our two contestants today. Tell me your name and tell me where you're from. Alright, both from Utah. Have you ever seen a soccer ball before? Awesome. Oh yeah, perfect pitch. Let's do it. Congratulations to our winners. Thank you both for participating. We will begin the second half of our soccer match shortly, so stick around and go Knights!
And we'd like to welcome everybody back to Knight Field here at Knight Stadium in Buena Vista, Virginia, where tonight's action sees the first place Lady Knights of Southern Virginia taking on the fourth place Pacers from William Peace. We had an exciting first half that was dominated by the Southern Virginia Knights, where two Knights found the goal to stake them to this 2-0 lead. Here as we begin this second half. Again, my name is Colby Kemp. I'm here with Nick O'Connor. We call this game here on senior night. The Lady Knights have already stolen the ball away here to begin the second half and work a little bit on offense. There's Madison Solis, middle of the field. She makes a nice touch into Natalie Blazer, and she there is disturbed by a Pacer defender. That ball will roll out of bounds.
And a moment to recognize Madison Solis here. Madison is a 3-year team member and has appeared in 54 games throughout her career while recording 1 goal and 1 assist. Madison will graduate with a degree in design and plans to move to Utah following graduation to work as a graphic designer. Now, Colby, with the Knights up currently 2-0. If you are Coach Dahl, what are you expressing to these Lady Knights at halftime to get them motivated to come into this next half, and what are you wanting them to work on?
I would say with the 2-0 lead right now, he's definitely telling them to not be reckless. They can't afford to give up a goal due to being careless. But at the same time, he's going to want them to continue with the aggressive play, just continue to play offense, and just play the brand of soccer that they're used to playing. They've got a very good defensive line. They've got a very good midfield. And, of course, we've said it time and time again, they have McKenna Winterton up front, along with Natalie Blazer, Mattia Murray, Mabel Harris here with the ball. So I think he's just telling them be more of the same, stay in your game, be aggressive, be confident.
I think that sounds about right. Make sure these ladies get into the same mindset that they were when they started the game. Nothing's different. Come in like it's 0-0.
Yeah, there's no need to draw back or play tentatively, or too defensively, because they've been very successful playing the brand of soccer that they've been playing tonight. And why not continue that? We mentioned they have this game and one more next week against Meredith to prepare for the conference tournament. And you really want to hit that conference tournament playing your best soccer of the year. And based on that first half, I would have to say the Knights are likely playing the best soccer that they've played all season right now as they head into the postseason.
Yes, they're doing a fabulous job, not just tonight, but in the last number of games.
Yeah, it seems like they've just been building as the conference season has progressed to the efficient soccer that we've seen tonight. As Claire Stevens attempts a long ball forward. McKenna now, quick touch there between Audrey McKeon. We mentioned she didn't see action in the first half, but she starts the second half here. So Audrey McKeon on the field. She has the ball right now. She'll try and cut back. She'll dribble to space near the end line, looking for a cross, and she'll send that to the middle. There's Mabel Harris, and she is crossed up by the defender, and that ball will go out of bounds, and that will be a goal kick for the Pacers. So again, another possession of efficient offense there for the Knights.
Absolutely. Now let's flip it around here for you, Colby. If you are Pacers coach Becky Scroger, what are you telling to this Pacer squad? What are you getting in their heads moving into this half?
Well, I would venture to guess she wasn't too pleased with the way that first half went, especially with the way that ended. She was not happy with the penalty called there in the last minute of the first half. But again, they're the fourth place team in the conference right now. They have 2 games remaining after this one, so they still have the opportunity to potentially move up to third place if they can find a result here and 2 positive results in their final 2 games. But, you don't want to bite off more than you can chew, but right now they got to work to try and score a goal just to cut the deficit in half to see if they can't push forward there and maybe bring the game to a tie at some point in the second half.
Well, and it would seem that we're already seeing a little bit more aggression out of them thus far in this half. A little bit less pressure so far on Vasquez in goal. And it seems like they're looking for an opportunity to break free here.
Yeah, I'd look for them to continue to be aggressive as McKenna takes a shot from well out. That goes off of Vasquez. Again, she makes a save that finds its way to the ground in front of the goal. And we can hear for a number here momentarily to see who is there for the follow. I believe that's Natalie Blazer. Difficult to see.
I'm unsure. She's not turned towards us at the moment, so couldn't quite tell you.
But another good opportunity for the Knights. Audrey McKeon. Back to McKenna. Cross there by Audrey. And that goes off the crossbar and out of bounds, so that'll be a goal kick. Still looking for the number on the Knight player that took that shot and was again involved in that offensive possession.
In any occasion, a couple of good shots right in a row. A couple of fabulous opportunities sailing just wide of goal.
That is Lauren Fowler that is on the field that took that shot just over the goal. Lauren Fowler, a sophomore out of Westlake High School in Saratoga Springs, Utah. So she hasn't seen a whole lot of playing time here recently, but Coach Dahl puts her on the field here to begin the second half and right away has a good look at goal. You know, going back to William Peace real quick, Nick, I would even say as Vasquez comes well off her line. McKenna decides to give it a whirl from about 40 yards out, seeing that Vasquez was well off her line and didn't quite get the contact on that she wanted. But again, going back to William Peace, I would almost say that they really have nothing to lose in this second half. You know, they're chasing Southern Virginia in the standings. They're fourth place, so down 2-0 here. I don't know that it matters a whole lot whether they lose by 2, whether they lose by 3. So I would look for them to be a little bit more aggressive, hopefully trying to sustain offensive attacks to find that goal.
Now, I would note for William Peace that they are actually tied in points through the conference with Brefford. So a positive result, or at least a tie, is going to prove to be much better for them here. It certainly affects them to take a loss here tonight.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, they're 1 point behind Meredith at the moment.
Yes.
So they're kind of sandwiched there. 2 points separates Meredith and Brevard, with William Peace being right in the middle. 1 point behind and 1 point ahead. So it would seem that they'd be working hard here to see if they can at least, find a goal to cut the deficit in half here in the first 15 minutes of the second half. Mabel Harris with a nifty move to get free. And Annalise Huber gets the pass from Mabel and sends that forward, and the Pacers will send that out. So that'll be a throw-in for Mabel here on the near side. Even Pacer deep on the Pacers side of the field. Rodriguez. Ella Thomas to Mabel. A good touch by Audrey McKeon. Now the cross by Mabel to McKenna, and we have a goal! Knights! That's McKenna Winterton on senior night, putting another one to the back of the net.
Yes, and just a wonderful pass to the inside. McKenna Winterton not quite getting the proper first touch that she wanted, but no defenders in the immediate vicinity, so she was able to recollect and put that ball into the back left corner of the net. Wonderful job done by McKenna Winterton.
Really a very good job done there by the whole right side of that Knight offense. Starting with Annalise Huber. You had Audrey McKeon with that great cross, good move by Mabel Harris to initially break free. And like I said, the long ball from Annalise Huber. Just a good offensive possession all the way around there by the Knights. So now we're just talking about William Peace maybe pushing to try and find a goal that would cut their deficit in half. They now find themselves down 3-0 with 35 minutes left here in the game tonight. So look for them to recompose themselves a little bit and get back into action and force some action on their offensive end here, Nick.
Yes, and unfortunately at this point of the game for William Peace, you have to press a little bit. You have to work to start putting some goals on the board fast. Otherwise, this is not going to work out for you. Unfortunately, that means that you're probably going to open yourself up a little bit defensively as well.
And as we mentioned, the Knights just continue their relentless attack to find the next goal. They've scored 3 goals now in about 14 minutes of game time. Going back to the first half, the first goal was scored with about 4 minutes left. Second goal with just over a minute, and now, just about 8 minutes into this second half, they find their 3rd goal of the game.
Well, they seem to be finding their groove here in the half, not slowing them down.
Another great 2-ball. McKenna, face of the goal. Goal! McKenna! Second goal in about 2 minutes by McKenna Winterton. And again, the senior finds the net on her senior night.
And my goodness, we saw the touch on the ball from McKenna, finding that back corner of the net once again. But it cannot be understated what a beautiful pass that was into her, into the center.
Absolutely. Once again, the whole midfield working so well together. McKenna, I think what you're seeing here is the team coming together saying, hey, this is McKenna's senior night. Let's see if we can send her out in style. And here she has 2 goals in about the last 3 minutes.
Well, who knows? Maybe they'll find her a hat trick here. Maybe I shouldn't speak too soon. Find some wood to knock on.
They may try to do that, but I also wouldn't put it past McKenna that if she finds herself in a situation that she'll lay the ball off for somebody else to have the opportunity to score a goal as well. You just never know. Consummate team player that she is and has been throughout her career here at Southern Virginia University. William Peace now trying to put together a little attack of their own. That ball touched away and controlled by Ella Thomas. McKenna leaves that out to Madison Solis.
And I think the key here, if you are the Pacers, is to not deflate at this point, to not get discouraged, because it would be very easy to get discouraged here. You're down 4-0 on the scoreboard. You're running out of time. We're approaching the 32-minute mark here. It would be easy to say, oh, this game is basically over. But 32 minutes is a lot of time. There's certainly enough time for a comeback here, and the Pacers have to begin now.
Well, and as we mentioned, this is a build-up toward the postseason. And so even though they find themselves in a precarious situation at the moment, down 4-0, they do have 2 conference matches still coming up, one against Pfeiffer, and then the final match as well, that they have the opportunity to try and find some momentum, try and find a little bit of their game to come on strong for the conference tournament.
And for those of you that have been watching over the last couple of games, if you recall, Southern Virginia University played Pfeiffer University just the other Saturday and took a win from them 7-1. And so yes, the Pacers will be taking on this the same Pfeiffer University coming up here as well.
Okay, so they have a winnable match against Pfeiffer, and then they will close their season at home against Brevard again. We spoke a little bit about Brevard, who sits just behind them in the standings. So, there's a lot of important soccer left to be played by this Pacer soccer club. So, even though they might have to search for something deep down to play for, they certainly have that, as they have 2 important matches still upcoming where they can find themselves as high as the 3 seed in the conference.
Absolutely, and I think it's important for them to make sure that they are finding something from this game to find confidence in, finding something in this game to build off of, as you were saying.
They are currently chasing Meredith for that 3 seed. And of course, we talked about this. Meredith, they have 2 matches left. They have one that is going on tonight, actually, at Greensboro. And then Meredith's final match will be at home against Southern Virginia 1 week from tomorrow. So, the Pacers, right now find themselves in a 4-0 hole against the Knights. But a week from tomorrow, they'll be rooting for the Knights to beat Meredith, because there will be something for the Pacers to gain if that happens potentially next Saturday.
Oh, absolutely. After tonight, maybe they'll be putting on their crimson. Waving their Knights flags.
Good battle here for the ball. William Peace. That is number 2, Kayla Johnson. Kayla Johnson showing some fight. She's not about to throw up the white flag. She's going to go after a goal of her own. She tried to split 2 Knight defenders there, and eventually referee called her for a foul, so the Knights will have a free kick for the Knights. That's number 3, Desana Grabarczyk, that has now checked into the game. She saw some productive minutes in the last game. Number 34 for the Knights, also on the field now. That is Sydney Bastian, freshman out of Colbert, Washington. Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada.
And quite a number of freshmen on this Knights squad. I believe it's something like 16 or 17 freshmen.
Yeah, there are a number of freshmen, many of them getting important playing time. As McKenna touches that ahead, Mabel Harris will run onto it. And good defense there, played by the Pacers again. And they will earn a goal kick. With that, Jerry Hansen again on the defensive play there against Mabel Harris.
As we reset, just wanted to thank a few of our sponsors once more. A quick thanks to Cornerstone Bank, Mill Creek Orthodontics, and River Crossing Apartments. And as well to Straws, Drinks, and Eats. Votgut should still be playing when we find ourselves at the end of this game, so if you want to hear from them, go on over. Grace Automotive, where SVU students and staff. Okay. Let me just start over on that one. Grace Automotive, where SVU students and staff can receive 10% off their vehicle maintenance needs. Papa John's Pizza, locally owned and operated. Vinyl Cuts, The Bee, Sweet Souvenirs, and Katana Sushi and Hibachi Express.
McKenna and Natalie Blazer playing a little 2-man game there near the box. William Peace comes up and sends that out for a throw in. Claire Stevens will take that. Again, William Peace is able to dispose of that out of bounds. So yet another throw in for Claire Stevens. She finds McKenna. McKenna tries to work her way around two Pacer defenders and is unable to. Kayla Johnson now for the Pacers near midfield. Looking for some support, and there's a ball played forward. It'll be taken away by Matia Murray, and she is fouled again by Kayla Johnson. Matia will go ahead and she will take this free kick. Send the match back to Grabarczyk. So with Sydney Baskin again.
Very quickly, these Knights looking to press the attack once more.
And there will be a foul called on the Pacers. So the Knights will have a free kick from about 40 yards out. Claire Stevens, she comes up to spot the ball, and the rest of her teammates will gather for this set piece.
Couple of fouls right in a row here.
Ball's sent toward the area. McKenna with an attempt on the header, but Vasquez is able to gather that one in. And she will send that forward.
Now, perhaps these additional fouls coming here in the last few minutes, a sign of frustration or fatigue.
Dana Kenworthy with the long run. She's got Kayla Johnson. She looks for her, and the Knights defense is able to knock that away.
And that one of the better runs that we've seen from the Pacers in recent minutes.
Gracie Duncan now for the Knights. Battles near midfield. Move that to Sydney Bastion.
Good awareness there from Mabel Harris.
And McKenna fights for it and comes away with the ball. She's going to make a run on the far side. Near in the area, she leaves it. Shot on goal there. I believe that was Lauren Fowler getting her second shot of the half off, but that's easily picked up in front of the goal by Gabby Vasquez once again for the Pacers.
Perhaps a little bit of an over-adjustment from Lauren Fowler. We saw her last shot attempt sail over the goal, and this one digging into the ground. So perhaps she was trying to fix the mistake from the previous shot. Let's see if she gets an opportunity to find something in the middle there.
Gracie Duncan trying to create something here on the near side for Natalie Blazer. So that ball will go out of bounds, so it'll be a throw in as we have another round of substitutions here for the Knights.
And as our substitutions come in, I would like to note that if you would like to partner with Knights Athletics to promote your business to the Knight Nation, please contact Brett Schroeder at 801-633-1894.
Abby Klusman, number 18, onto the field for the Knights for the first time this evening. And one other substitution, we'll get that momentarily. That's number 21, Tessa Miller, come back onto the field for the Knights.
And we watched her with some aggressive play at the back end of last half. Seems to be hungry for a goal tonight.
Shot on goal there. The goal! And that will be number 25, Ellie Owen.
And my goodness, what a boot on her.
That was about 20 yards out for Ellie Owen. She received a very good pass there. Settled it down in front and spun and hit that with power. to the left corner of the net. So the Knights now take a 5-0 lead over the Pacers with just under 23 minutes left to play here tonight.
It just got all of that ball. Too much speed and heat coming on it for Vasquez to react in time. Too much sauce, if you will.
Yeah, that was a very well-struck ball there by Ellie.
And the Knights showing no sign of slowing down or moving towards a more defensive end to this game. They say if the goals keep coming, so will we.
Jane Peterson. Back, there's Ellie Owen again. She'll touch that back to Haley Gadd back onto the pitch. McKenna still out there searching for the hat trick. Just about got onto the end of that one, but touched that one a little heavier than she would have liked. So Vasquez sends that toward midfield. Haley Gadd. Ball be volleyed back toward the Pacer back line. And now Mattia Murray will settle that. She's looking for McKenna. That ball came up and got McKenna on the hand, so the referee will turn the play toward the Pacers and give them a free kick.
I believe they may actually have called that an offside. McKenna, a good step or two behind that last defender.
That very well could have been the call as well.
Now, I would like to note as we move forward here, the Knights' goal-scoring high of the season is that 7-1 score against Pfeiffer, but their second most amount of goals is actually tied tonight at 5.
The Knights are enjoying this offensive output tonight here. Again, on senior night, as we celebrate the careers of 3 of the seniors. There's McKenna Winterton, again making another run toward goal. And that will be sent out for a corner kick. That'll be the 7th of the night. 3 seniors here for the Knights. McKenna Winterton, Madison Solis, and Annalise Huber being honored here before the game. Ball played into the box. There's McKenna looking to get on the other end of that. And Vasquez is able to gather that one in as well. So play will turn the other direction here on the kick from Vasquez.
And there Vasquez was once again right up on the very edge of the box, taking every inch she can.
Klusman playing good defense, comes away with the ball. She'll play the ball through, looking for Natalie Blazer and I believe Lauren Fowler still. Vasquez is able to come up with that, send that the other direction. Actually, that Gracie Duncan making that run alongside Blazer.
A little under 19 minutes left in the half.
There we see 2 more substitutions. McKenna Winterton coming off the field. Audrey McKeon coming on in her place. One other sub that we will get to here shortly as we see a number on the back of the jersey. McKeon making a good run with the cross. And Vasquez again That wasn't a goal-saving dive, but if she does not get to that cross, there were 3 Knights there ready to take an attempt at an open net.
A little scary look there, and nearly popped out of her hands once more. But she was able to wrangle that one and save any further issue. And as we've said, the Knights putting her to work all night long.
Abby Klusman trying to get through there. Jane Peterson. William P. steps up and clears that. Haley Gadd will hustle after that and send that back to Katrina Gardner, a player whose name we have not called that much tonight, especially in this second half, Nick. Katrina Gardner just hanging back on her goal line, enjoying the action as she's watched her offense put up 3 goals here so far in this second half. She's got to like that. Makes her job much less stressful. As we see 2 more substitutions coming on for the Knights. Ella Thomas, number 9, she's come on. Paige Varvarigos back onto the pitch.
And you're right, Colby. Normally we have good opportunity to rave about the the skill of Gardner, to talk about some of the terrific saves that she makes, but not much opportunity for that tonight. Challenged very few times.
Very, very few times has she had to come off that line, or has she been challenged, really. I don't know that she minds that a whole lot.
In fact, on the official stat column, there have been 0 shots on goal against her.
Yep, 0 shots, 0 corners conceded by the Knights, so there's just not been a lot of action on the side of the field that Katrina spends her night on. Like I said, I doubt she's too worried about that, as she's enjoyed the action as much as anybody here at Knight Stadium tonight. Gotta give her a lot of confidence heading into the conference tournament to know that she doesn't have to be perfect all the time, because her offense will back her up. There's Audrey McKeon making chase. In the end, she fouls near the end line, so it'll be a free kick deep here from Vasquez.
It's nights like tonight that perhaps we might wish that we could get Katrina Gardner mic'd up and have a conversation with us up here. Of course, don't want to take her, distract her too much from the game. And just to show the comparison between the 2 teams tonight, while there have been 0 shots on goal against Katrina Gardner, the Knights have made 16 shots on goal, with 31 total shot attempts.
You know, we've talked about that tonight at length. Vasquez having a very busy night. Overall, she's played fairly well. Just the constant pressure by the Knights on that defensive back line have really made her work hard.
Well, it should be said in praise of her, if there have been 16 shot attempts on goal so far, she's made 11 saves tonight.
And that's a lot of saves. It's a lot to ask of your goalie. Again, that's 16 shots on frame. You know, not to mention the 31 total that the Knights have taken. You know, the 31, 16 have been on frame. And Vasquez, a number of those 11 saves that she's made have been very good, very difficult plays that she's made on the ball. So,
well, and those don't count either, those crosses that she's intercepted and gotten in the way of.
Ella Ella Thomas now brings the ball forward near midfield. She's got an eye on some space. There's Tessa Miller making a run, and she is brought down just outside of the area by the William Peace defender. And she is going to be shown a yellow card. So the Knights are going to have a free kick at 19 or 20 yards out, depending on exactly where the referee allows them to spot the ball. It looks like Haley Gadd, if I'm not mistaken, is going to come up and take this free kick. Gabby Vasquez lining up her wall.
And I don't know what else you can end up doing other than handing out the yellow card there. Nothing too dangerous as to end up causing a red card off the bat there. But it almost seemed as if she jumped up there to take a piggyback ride.
Yeah, I think she found herself behind the Knight offensive player, Tessa Miller, and really just brought her down the best she could to prevent another goal from scoring. So kind of giving herself up. Probably knew she was going to take that card, but wanted to do what she could for her team to keep another goal off the board. Ball's being volleyed around near midfield, and the referee is going to call another foul on William Peace. So the Knights will take this free kick. Haley Gadd again sends it toward goal. Vasquez comes out and gets the one hopper as three Knights were charging toward goal.
Now, I think that will end up amounting to 12 fouls now called on the Pacers. As opposed to the 4 called against the Knights thus far.
Ball goes through. Audrey McKeon and Abby Klusman both giving chase, but Pacers send that back again to Vasquez, and she's able to clear it. Again, just another example of Vasquez having to do a lot of work there back at the goal line. Three Knights now coming on, making the substitutions. Good opportunity again tonight for Coach Dahl to give a number of his players some experience here.
And while I can, just because it's senior night, another shout out to our seniors, Madison Solis, Annalise Huber, and McKenna Winterton. And the wonderful work that they have put in this season, both on the field and in the classroom.
Haley Gadd with a good through ball, looking to connect with Emmy Giles. Emmy Giles, of course, came through with a goal earlier tonight. Throw in on the far side here by the Pacers as we are now under 11 minutes left in this match.
I'm sure the Pacers would like to get something on the board before this match comes to an end.
I'm sure they'd love to see Katrina Gardner at least have to get her uniform a little dirty here before the end of the game. Haley Gadd plays the ball forward to Audrey McKeon. That goes off her back. It'll be a throw in for the Pacers. Ella Thomas is able to send that forward toward Bailey Ricker, who is once again checked into the game. Ball's out of bounds. There'll be a throw in for Ella Thomas. Actually, she's going to leave it there as we see three more subs coming onto the field. We have Maddie Staples, number 29. Bailey Ayland again coming onto the pitch.
I believe we have McKenna Winterton back out front.
And that is McKenna back in the position that she vacated and went to the bench for a few minutes. And another foul called. This will be a free kick again for the Lady Knights, about 25 yards out on the far side of the field. Looks like Claire Stevens gonna jump in to take that one. Annalise Huber was the one making the run there. There's another save. That's McKenna getting the header, almost getting her hat trick there, but again, Vasquez just getting a finger on that one as that ball was headed into the far corner.
That one bounced out as well. Fortunately, this time she had a defender there to provide some assistance there and get the ball out of bounds.
Annalise Huber coming off the field. Haley Gadd coming off the field. I believe that's Madison Solis also coming off the field. Bailey Ayland with a good move. Gets a shot off, but it's blocked, and Maddie Staples. She takes a shot from about 40 yards out. Plenty of foot, but that sells wide right.
Now, while Vasquez resets to take the goal kick here, it cannot be understated the importance of the depth of bench that the Knights have. And we've seen this vast difference between the Knights and many of their opponents so far this season, and the number of players that they're able to swap in and out of the games and able to keep fresh legs on the field.
So that's been an advantage for the Knights all year long. And Coach Dahl has continued to experiment with different lineups throughout the season. And throughout the course of any game, it's not uncommon to see any combination of players out on the field. It seems so often that whatever combination is out there, it just seems to work and work well. So let's kudos to Coach Dahl and his coaching staff for developing the team chemistry in that manner. As another shot goes off of Vasquez. And also to the players that support one another and are happy with making those substitutions and trying to be their best selves every time they get an opportunity to play.
So I don't think Vasquez loved the way that one felt coming at her there.
No, it was a pretty powerful shot that was taken. Emmy Giles again making a run.
But yes, as you were saying, every combination that Coach Dahl seems to put out onto the pitch seems to work. He certainly knows what he's doing, and these ladies are certainly well practiced together, and the team chemistry is evident. And once again, as we're talking about it, more substitutions for the Knights.
Jane Peterson comes on. She takes the place of Audrey McKeon.
And I would say, Colby, that it's not uncommon coming into a game here in Buena Vista at home for the Knights to have nearly double the amount of available players as the away team does.
You know, Coach Dahl, he's made that a priority of his to build the roster. You know, even though there can only be 11 out on the field at a time, it's always important to have a deep roster of players that can push one another in practice. Unfortunately, soccer is a game where there are going to be injuries throughout the season. So he's done a good job at building his roster, increasing the numbers of players in the program. And now, games like tonight and many times throughout this conference season, he has, given players playing time, given them the reward for their efforts in practices. As we have an injured pacer on the ground right now. There's a stop in action. The clock has been stopped. So, you always got to appreciate playing for a coach that rewards the effort. Only 11 at a time can play, but, there are opportunities throughout the season. And Coach Dahl doesn't always just look for, those times where maybe the match, isn't as close as teams would like it to be. It's 5-0 right now. Coach Dahl can pretty much put whomever he needs to or wants to on the field. But, all of these players have had quality playing time throughout the season at one point or another, whether it was in a scoreless game, a scoreless draw, a 1-1 tie or a 1-0 game either way. Most of these players can say they've had some quality playing time at one point or another. The injured player for William Peace, I believe, is Jerry Hansen, number 28. She is up and walking off the field under her own power, so that's good to see. Hansen is a junior out of Jacksonville, North Carolina, a defender. She's had a busy game as well on that back line trying to defend this Knight offense. So good to see Hansen able to walk off the field under her own power, especially as we've mentioned with the Pacers having 2 important games coming up in the next week.
Yes, and I'm sure trainer Chad Mahaffey will make sure that she gets whatever attention that she needs.
And a mass of substitutions once again for the Lady Knights, as we see McKenna Winterton going off the field here on this, her senior night. That'll probably be the last we see of her on this pitch until the conference tournament. Number 23 for the Knights has checked in. That's Brindley Julian, sophomore, out of Cottonwood High School in Salt Lake City. We'll get as many of these substitutions as we can here as we are able to see the numbers. Pacers now building an attack. Find space there with Dana Kenworthy. Dana Kenworthy.
The Pacers looking to get their first shot on goal. Ultimately thwarted here for a moment.
Knights are able to come away with the ball. Maddie Staples play that forward to Jane Peterson. And the Pacers once again step in front of that and intercept it. Shaylin Webb. Grabarczyk carries that forward a bit for the Knights before that's taken away from her. Lindsay Knox plays a ball toward goal, and Katrina Gardner very eager to come off her line and go pick that ball up and join the action here tonight.
Yes, she's used her hands very few times.
Brindley Julian giving chase. That ball that went forward to Gabby Vasquez. Maddie Staples. Ball played forward there. Jane Peterson onside with the cross. So that goes behind the Knights. The
Knight attackers just moved a little bit too close into goal. The cross, I'm sure, looking to keep it out of the hands of Vasquez. Ultimately, the two players couldn't connect.
Throw in for the Knights now with 2.5 minutes left in the match. Knights continue on top 5-0. William Peace continues to play hard, continuing to chase a first goal for them here this evening.
And once again, a few more substitutions.
Ball thrown in. Jane Peterson. Abby Fox, number 36. She's now checked in. Freshman out of Desert Hills High School in St. George, Utah. Jane Peterson looking to make something happen. Also see number 15 on the pitch. Macy Collins, freshman out of Austin, Texas, by way of Lake Travis High School.
Well, just gets away from Jasana Garbacek there.
Fox. Number 37 for the Knights, Courtney Pack, another freshman out of St. George. She played her high school ball at Snow Canyon. And I believe that's number 31 on the far side also for the Knights, Malia Hickman, freshman out of Goochland, Virginia.
And my apologies, I have just been made aware that I have mispronounced that there. It was Grabarczyk, at least so far as it's been presented to me.
1 minute remaining.
1 minute left in the match. We have a free kick. Vasquez will send that toward midfield for the Pacers. The ball gets by. Pacers making a run on the far side. They'll look to make a cross, but defended there well by the Lady Knights. And that'll be a throw-in for the Pacers. Shot from about 25 yards out there is handled easily by Katrina Gardner.
But a shot on goal nonetheless.
Shot taken by Dana Kenworthy, the playmaker for the Pacers.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
And that ball played there by number 34, Sydney Bastian, to let the final seconds of this match tick away. Nick, we had an exciting night here, at least as far as the Knight fans are concerned. A lot of offense as the Knights scored 5 goals here on senior night, sent their seniors out in style, moved to 8-0 now in conference play. And we hadn't mentioned it since before halftime, but the Knights now have secured the #1 seed in the USA South Women's Soccer Conference Tournament. So congratulations to Coach Dahl and his players. Undoubtedly, that was a goal that they set here early. Nick, any final thoughts on the game here?
Yes, well, these ladies and Coach Dahl have to be excited. They have done what they set out to do many weeks back. We know Coach Dahl had the intentions of taking these ladies to securing that #1 spot. And here they have done that now, and in grand fashion.
Yeah, very exciting game, a lot of good goals. You know, we want to thank William Peace for coming here, playing hard through the end. We wish them luck on their final 2 games, as we mentioned, 2 important games for them. And, you know, it's not out of the question that these 2 teams could meet once again in the conference tournament. So we wish William Peace well, and want to thank everybody again for joining us for this broadcast. We want to invite everybody to like, follow, or subscribe Knight Broadcasting, and join us next Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m. Meredith, as the Knights will take on Meredith College down in Raleigh, North Carolina. and attempt to finish off an undefeated conference season. So for Nick O'Connor, I'm Colby Kemp. Again, thanking everybody for joining us here and asking that you continue to follow us as we continue to broadcast night athletic events. So good night, and as always, good luck. Go Knights.